Can you guys hear me and see me? Glad everyone can make it. I greatly appreciate it. That's from the heart. Just know that. Glad everyone can make it aboard. Welcome to True Reporting live stream. Hope everyone's doing good tonight. 5-5, everyone's doing great. 5-5, yes, the music is awful. Brenda, take it easy. You don't have to be so negative. What do you want me to play? Give the Q sign. How about that? Boom, boom, click. You were adorable, by the way. Thank you, Christy. Thank you, ma'am. What a day. Big Q drops. Is everyone able to see the I have an echo on my mic. Okay. Is everyone hearing echo? You should not be able to hear an echo. Five by five. Yeah. Shady one here. Q. How's everyone doing? Everyone should be good to go. There should be, come on, 41 likes, 149 people watching. Yeah. I did it right the first time. So what is important is that we have new Q. New Q is coming out. And before we get into any of this, would you please go ahead and click the bell to get notifications? A lot of people are telling me through Twitter and email that they are not getting notifications. So please do that. So when I post on my channel, you'll be the first to know, right? Also, we have a PayPal and Patreon account in the description box below. Definitely check that out. The number to call is 803-761-0511. Definitely let me, I may be able to change what the thumbnail looks like. Tons of Q, absolutely. Juicy Smollett, yeah, juicy. Q drops were great, yeah. Definitely, I feel like a lot of people who do follow Q are not, they're not realizing how incredible the Zero Delta is. The Zero Delta is huge. That should be taken into account, in my opinion, in my wondrous opinion. So we need to get into these pictures. Oh my Jesus, did somebody mess that up? Yeah, anonymous, obviously. Whoa. Unbelievable. Found the camera. Absolutely. There's a lot going on, guys. New Q 2 years ago. Absolutely. the coup against the president. We'll get into that. These photos are not showing up, which is very strange, but that's okay. Hey, FL John 48, what's up, dude? Hello to everyone, by the way. We can definitely go into some Q-Pose. Today is the 18th. So we definitely need to go through these, guys. You can call into the number 803-761-0511. It will be monitored that you will not see your number. So I know there were some questions about that yesterday. I will be putting out a podcast tomorrow, which is crazy. Or actually tonight, rather, after the stream, because Eric Vader says he never gets notifications. You need to unsubscribe, then subscribe, and then click the bell. That should definitely happen. Also, Jussie, what's his last name? Slayton, definitely is going to appear before a grand jury. He is Dunzo. The guy is a complete liar, fake false flag. Definitely need to look into that. The number again is 803-761-0511. 803-761-0511. D-Class is definitely coming. Something big is coming. I will post the new number, 761-05. There you go. That's the number, guys. So if you want to call in, you most certainly can. And we could talk about whatever you want to talk about. It is open forum. All I ask is that you are very respectful to me and to others listening. Where is RBG? She's worm food. I have talked about that many and many a time. False reporting of a crime in itself is a crime. Exactly. He will be put in front of a grand jury. Q got him arrested. I've seen the memes out there. It's hilarious. He's done. He's done. And the ties that he has with many senators, the bloodlines run deep. Let's just say that. The bloodlines run deep. So absolutely, we can, if you definitely want to call, you most certainly can. We will definitely be able to. First call of the night. What is up this year with True Reporting? The bloodlines run deep. Are you there? Absolutely, we can. If you definitely want to call, you most certainly can. You need to mute that stream, unknown person.
Hey, this is Time Travel checking in.
Hey, Time Travel. Yeah, mute your stream, please.
Yes, sir. Call tonight. What is up? You hear me now?
Yes, I can definitely hear you. What's going on, Time Travel? I got your emails. I responded to you. Hope all is well.
Yeah, I'm still here standby trying to get my audio set right.
Oh, you're good, my friend. You're good.
Awesome. Cool.
Oh, you got to mute that stream, my friend.
Hey, Time Travel. Yeah, mute your stream, please. Yes, sir. Stand by. You hear me now?
Yes, I can definitely hear you. What's going on, Time Travel? I got your emails. I responded to you. Hope all is well.
Awesome.
I'm still hearing a delay. I'm still hearing a delay.
Yep, I'll have to try back. I'm getting a loop.
It's okay, man. Call back later.
Yep.
All right, buddy. Bye-bye. So, yeah, everything's good, my friends. Everything is good. So, the four families that own California, huge. We all knew about that. Nancy Pelosi, all of her cronies. It's all bloodlines. Again, people don't understand that this is definitely when you see the Trump family take over, this is a dynasty. This is kings and queens, but they're in other representation, they're called presidents. The Trump family is a dynasty. I guarantee you it's going to be passed down from Donald Trump Jr. to Eric Trump to Ivanka Trump, and not in a particular order. But that's what's going to happen. So definitely check that out. That is definitely how it is taking place. We are definitely being this is just a new takeover. It's a new family to take us over. we're plebs. You know, it is what it is. But I think we're going to become extremely wealthy here soon. Oh, that's very strange. Hello? Are you there? Oh, we missed him. Rang too many times. I think she got cloned. Here we go. Yes, hello.
Hey, Thomas. What's up? It's Mr. Les Paul from Spokane.
Spokane, Washington?
What's going on?
Nothing, man. We are live. We are ready to go, and definitely, what's on your mind, my friend? Good to hear from you.
Well, I was just thinking, man, the whole Space Force thing. Like, why did Trump create Space Force? And it just kind of popped in my head. Like, if you're worried about the four military branches being compromised, you'd have to create your own, right?
Sure.
Pick your own guys.
I don't think they're all compromised, to be honest, but we'll get into that.
Well, yeah. Well, just to like eliminate possibility, you know, like
Sure.
That's what I think those guys in those helicopters in LA were, man. Space Force.
Oh, I completely agree. Me and Red Pill came to a conclusion that yes, that is what is going on. That definitely was Space Force. If you listen to the video, like I called in on Red Pill 78. He actually called me and was extremely kind, really good guy. And he told me that the equivalence or the time frame that this took place was they roped off the streets. This again, this is downtown LA, 30-minute duration. You fly in 4 black ops helicopters, bring them in, go into a building, come out with what they need, fly off like nothing happened. That is Space Force.
Yeah, working at the pleasure of the president.
Yes, what a wonderful president we do have. But continue, man. What else is on your mind? You mentioned something before that.
Really.
You mentioned something before that?
Oh, I can't remember.
Well, if you remember, you can definitely, call back. I think that topic is extremely important. So, yeah, definitely, I believe it was Space Force coming in to take things over. We definitely, if you don't think anything's going on, think of the zero delta from Q and Trump. The mathematical impossibilities of that happening are 1 in a trillion. It's literally impossible. So definitely Q is part of the Trump team, the Q team.
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't even say the word think. I've known this to be, fact. And I think that this delta that they put out yesterday was definitely a huge impact on the movement. And I think it should bring a lot of faith to a lot of people to agree that President Trump is talking directly to us through 8chan, 4chan in the beginning, and we're in for a very special time. Well, I guess we lost him, but that's okay. Michael Cody, thank you. Today's Q drop is key to imminent events. I completely agree. Guys, if you would like to donate, you can definitely go to my PayPal or my Patreon in the description box below. The call-in number is 803-761-0511. 803-761-0511. Hey, who's this?
Hello. You can definitely go to
Hey, I need you to mute. Please mute your stream, please.
Yes, I have done.
Thank you. What's going on? What's your name?
My name is Nadia. I'm calling from London.
Nadia calling from London. What a pleasure. What is going on? And I am going to need you to give us a full detailed report on the yellow vests. So
they're not in London, and I'm more interested in American politics.
I know. You could go ahead with your 1 second. Yeah, Mr. Les Paul lost his service. That's okay. But yeah, definitely, Paula, please continue. What's your question or comment?
I'm just ringing to say I watched the Venezuela speech with Trump today, just now,
Uh-huh.
and I know he appeared to do a Q in the air when he was standing with Melania.
Oh, who did the Q? Who did this?
Trump did when he at the beginning of the speech when he was with Melania. He did an
There,
Q.
yes, there's definitely some symbolism that they throw out there. Did you see the flower, the plant that was with Melania and I guess it's Prince Harry?
Yes, with Prince Harry. I mean, it was such an ugly plant; it had to be deliberate.
Absolutely deliberate. Absolutely. I love your accent, by the way. You're the first. We have people calling from Spain and Canada. You're the first one from the UK. I appreciate your definitely your support. Means a lot to me.
Well, thank you. I'm really, really pleased to be talking to you. I mean, I've been following you for about a year. It just turned up on my.
Oh, Jesus, that means even more to me. That's so cool. Yeah, definitely make sure that you are getting notifications. And the way to make sure of that is you can even unsubscribe and subscribe and then click the bell so that you know when I go live. And we're going to be doing this now, Nadia, we're going to be doing this for every day, Monday through Friday, maybe sometimes on the weekend from 8 to 9 Eastern Central Time in America.
Yes, I've got to. I check that that's pressed all the time. I mean, I kind of fell in love with Trump before the election when I started seeing his speeches, and I just felt he was truly authentic. And
absolutely,
I started looking at him the same way I looked at Elvis Presley when I was a teenager, and I'm in my 70s now. And I just think he gets better and better. And I love the closeness of his relationship with Melania. I think they're really on the same page. And I feel they've got closer and closer. I think she's probably part of Q myself.
Yes, ma'am. I believe it to be extremely genuine and authentic. A lot of people in the chat are asking about the yellow vest. Do you find this to be grassroots?
You know, I don't know a lot about it because I don't have a television and I don't follow politics over here because yours is so much more interesting. I mean, yours is like a really big movie, isn't it? It just changes constantly, and
yes,
I can barely keep up. But the French have been known for this kind of thing. I mean, they will go on the streets and fight about anything, like the price of sheep, and they'll stop all the traffic. They've been very brave for a long time. They go on the street about fishing laws. So it's very typical of them. I think what is really awful that's happening there is the police turning on the people that they are there to protect. The police are meant to protect the French people. They are paid protect the French people. And yet the French people, the yellow vest, the gilets jaunes, they are losing eyes and hands and legs, you know, because of the police weapons. And it really is horrific and shouldn't be going on. But Macron is a Rothschild. And I don't know if you saw when President Trump was with Macron and President Trump and Melania were either side of Macron on a balcony at the time of the memorials, the war memorials. And Macron got hold of Trump's hand and Melania's hand on either side of him, and he held them up in the air. And behind their hands, he put devil's horns. So if you looked quickly, it looked as if Trump and Melania were doing devil's horns, but it was actually Macron who did that. And you can see that on quite a few videos. It's very, very clear, and it just shows what an evil man he is. And he's just going to destroy his own people, but they'll carry on fighting. The French do. They don't give up.
But yeah, the French do not give up. You know, you could think of when they went after, oh my goodness, what was that? The French Revolution. You know, we have, you know, this is the second go round, and I believe that they will definitely take back what is theirs. I think that we in America are in a very special time that we actually have a leader. And I'll be honest with you, people are following in his footsteps. If you look at Spain, if you look at Italy, these countries are definitely following in the footsteps of some very critical times, very important times. And, you know, Nadia, I think that me and you and the rest of the people watching are here for a reason. And I think it's a very, very special time.
It's a very, very special time for me because I'm a satanic ritual abuse and MK Ultra survivor.
Whoa. Seriously?
Yes. And to have Trump and you talking about it, I've had to keep quiet my whole life. and I only got out in my 40s. And it's been devastating here. You can't get therapy, you can't talk about it, you get arrested if you talk about it and sectioned, put into a mental home. And to have it out in the open, to me, is a dream come true. It's just hope. And just like to go back to France a bit, the French people, they're fighting the same people they were fighting during the revolution, because the Pacers, who are the head of the Illuminati, are, of course, the descendants of the French royal family. So they're fighting the same people. But now they've got Trump's support. And I think that will give a lot of people strength. So not only do I get a lot of strength from Q and Trump's support, and knowing that they're there and there's good there at last, and Trump and Q will not give up. And although we're told there's only about 7 military members of Q and 3 civilians, and the 3 civilians, are they JFK Jr. and Trump and Melania, or are they JFK Jr. and his wife and Trump? I don't know, but they won't give up. And of course, they've got a lot of people underneath them who only have limited information to act on, such as the people who did the arrests, in Los Angeles. So I think they're a much bigger group than they appear to be. I'm very excited by the fact we're told that they're worldwide. And I wonder who represents them here, because I don't see any evidence of it. I mean, gosh, everyone's brainwashed and brain dead here.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I don't want to become I don't want to play therapy or anything like that. But how did you get into the SRA? How was that inflicted onto you? Like, from what?
That family generational. My father was in the military. He was a doctor during the Second World War, and he was in the Pentagon. And his job was teaching sensory deprivation, torture, and mind control, which he always practiced on his own family. So I was brought up with all the torture, sensory deprivation, and mind control, just like Cathy O'Brien. And it was a relief when, these brave ladies like Cathy O'Brien wrote books about it, because it was just like, oh my God, this is exactly what happened to me. And I thought I was the only one. So I was just brought up into it. I didn't know any other life. It was completely controlled. I was just brought up to be a robot. And to a degree I am now, but I've had a lot of therapy.
How do you talk about this with your therapist? Like, do they understand, or they think you're, they think it's just more of just an abuse? Because there's obviously something behind satanic ritual abuse where they're trying to fracture you, correct? Is that the proper terminology?
But what happens is the torture fractures your mind.
Correct.
If you're tortured, your personality that you live in every day can only cope with so much. So another personality is created. So, for example, I have male personalities, female. I have animal personalities for water tortures.
Yes, ma'am.
I have octopus personalities for water torture. You get different personalities for different events, and some go to schools. I've got a very good personality that drives, for example. So you just have a lot of different personalities, and in therapy, they have to be brought out and integrated. I was lucky I had a house I could remortgage to pay for therapy, because there is no therapy for it here. And I was also lucky enough to be introduced to a therapist. She later got murdered. She had about 5 people like me. She knew David Icke very well, and he interviewed her and a lot of her clients, and used our stories in The Biggest Secret, his book, which he dedicated to my therapist. But she was poisoned, and so I haven't had anybody since. It's very hard to find anyone, and she was very, very brave. Her name was Vera Diamond, rest in peace. She was a very, very brave lady. She trained under Dr. Colin Ross, a Canadian doctor who's in Texas now, who's expert in multiple personality disorder and military abuse and military mind control.
Jesus.
Which is, what it is.
This is would you ever consider doing a interview with me? I don't want to dig deep. I don't want to lift up open wounds or anything like that. I'm just so interested in the not the procedure, but basically step by step. You don't have to talk about what happened to you, but everyone on the chat is basically sending all their love and their well wishings to you, because what you've gone through, and there's not a coincidence that you called in to talk to me. This is extremely interesting to me, and if if there's any way that I could help you or any way that we could get your word out, this isn't exploitation. Obviously, you know that this is just a grassroots. This is just a grassroots podcast that is followed by over almost 100,000 subscribers. You know, I think it would be very prominent for people who may be suffering from the same thing as you've gone through. Correct?
Yes, I mean, I would just say to support anybody you see who's going crazy, because we all go crazy at one point.
Sure.
I mean, we're very, very controlled. I mean, people knew that I had multiple personality disorder, but they didn't know what it was. They just knew 1 minute I would be very conservative, the next minute I'd be an anarchist. 1 minute I'd be very masculine, another minute feminine, another minute I'd get frightened, I'd be a child. I mean, I could cross the road and be halfway across the road and become a baby, and I couldn't move in any direction. Life is incredibly difficult, but when you're heavily programmed, you're fine, because you're switching, and the personalities control life, and they switch as they need to, you know, for school and home and so on. It's when the programming breaks down, which generally happens following one of the programmers dying. In my case, it was my mother dying when I was 40, and my mind completely fell apart. I was completely crazy for 2 years, hardly stayed alive. I didn't know how to get money. I just couldn't look after myself, and I just fell into various things. I don't have any religious faith, because so much of the satanic ritual abuse is done in the name of religion, but I do have a faith, I would say.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I was guided to people, and whoever was behind that, I don't know. I follow a thing called the law of attraction, but I do believe I was guided and protected, and otherwise I would be long gone. I mean, they took my home from me, they took my friends, but I've survived for a reason, and this is the first time I've actually talked about it, because in England you cannot talk about it in the open, and it's only the comments on some of the QAnon sites that I've ever spoken about it, because it's very dangerous. You know, as I said, when you start breaking apart and remembering it, you become what's called a targeted individual.
Yes, ma'am.
And that I didn't know the term for that until the internet. And they just track you. You meet someone in the street, you think it's a nice person, you meet them for coffee, and you find out they're targeting you. And they just eventually take everything. They try to get into your house. They try to get access to animals. You know, they'll offer to walk your dog if you're not well, and I'd never let them. They just want to destroy you. And in my case, I lived in a building, quite a small house in central London. The two men moved into the building. They bought flats. They illegally acquired the freehold, and they spent 20 years taking me to court until they got my home. So I'm now homeless. And
you're homeless now? No way.
Yeah, they got my £1 million house in central London from me.
How are you on the phone?
I'm on the phone because I'm sitting in a friend's kitchen chair. I mean, I'm staying with a friend who previously owned my dog. So, you know, I've got a roof over my head, but it's not my roof, and it's a very small roof. But I'm lucky. I mean, so many people, I mean, I would say 1 in a million survive.
Yes, ma'am.
The majority die.
1 in a million? Is that low?
That's my opinion, because I've seen so many die throughout my life in the rituals, in the sacrifices. But the rest, when you start breaking down, if you don't have support, and then they make sure you're only surrounded by them. You don't have normal friends because you're not allowed to. They check everything you do when you're growing up. I had personalities, for example, who were programmed to phone my parents and tell me if I'd met a new friend, and I would be told whether or not I could keep that friend. I had no idea this was going on. I would just know that friend left my life. I had no idea that I'd got rid of them. It was another personality that got rid of them. So they make sure you're very isolated, so that when you do break down, you have no help, no resources. And I just happened to have a house that I could remortgage for therapy. And that house saved my life, but I now no longer have it. You can't get away from these people. You're targeted for life. And to me, the whole Trump Q thing is just hope that at some point it will spread here, because it is
spreading there, sweetie. It is spreading there.
I hope so. I mean, I don't see it, but we're always behind you in America. We're always about 10 years behind. But you've got to get to the judiciary, the police. You've got to get Freemasons out of the judiciary, out of politics. It's absolutely infiltrated by these people, and they are the people who destroy the survivors. So not only have we suffered horrific abuse throughout our lives, but it continues. There is no escape. There's
Right.
no island. And if you read survivors' books, they'll say, I can't remember their names, but there's one, she went to Florida to escape, and they followed her there. They got her children. You don't ever get away from them. Maybe someone does. I think maybe you think you're away, but you're not.
Right.
So it's a very difficult world. I mean, I think the only reason I'm safe is because I don't name names. If I was going to do that, then I'd be in trouble.
Sure. I have two questions. I have two questions for you before I let you go. This is extremely interesting. From across the pond, what are your thoughts on David Icke?
David Icke, in a way, saved my life.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, I have a lot of other survivors because he red-pilled me. I grew up in this world, but I had no memory of it. And I came across his first book, The Robots' Rebellion, and then I Am Me, I Am Free. Now, he had a crisis. He had a big major breakdown where he went on British television and looked a complete idiot. And he had to go through a terrible sort of crisis of everybody hating him and making fun of him. He had the most awful time for several years, and he's only recently been proved right. And I read most of his books, but then he came to meet my therapist, and he met quite a few of her clients. I think she was working with half a dozen of us. And actually seeing the other girls, the other survivors, made me very grateful because my father's the doctor, so I wasn't as badly injured as them. You get MK Ultra people who are what are called presidential level, and they're not allowed to injure us too badly. We're not meant to be visibly injured. But these other girls were so injured, I don't know how they kept going in life, really. They were very internally damaged. And anyway, he interviewed them and wrote about it in The Biggest Secret, which meant that people like me could actually know that there were others and know why they were doing it. I mean, my parents were educated, sophisticated, charismatic, clever people. In normal life,
how did you get into this, though? How are you pushed into that?
It's generational. It just goes on from one generation to another. I mean, my sisters are still all in.
Right. Oh, your sister was in it too? So this is so David Icke helped wake you up. Do you believe in reptilians? Do you believe his philosophy on that?
I've seen them.
So you've seen reptilians. That's incredible. So on the topic of reptilians, what do you think about the Queen?
I think it's probably enough that I don't say. But I would say, as far as generally reptilians are concerned, they look like you or I during the day.
Sure.
They show if they're really upset. If in daylight, they would only show if they were really, really upset or angry in public. Otherwise, they would only show in ritual. When it's kind of an emotional switch on a sort of etheric level.
What did they look like? Just general, just a general description. You don't have to be, you don't have to.
Horrible, terrifying, reptilian. I mean,
like a Komodo dragon.
I suppose dragon-like. Not nice. It's mainly the aura, because they're in a really horrible emotional state at the time that they switch, so that they're very threatening and frightening. But he's right. I mean, very, very. I must admit, when I first read his book, I wished he hadn't mentioned it, because that made everybody throw the baby out with the bathwater. Up to then, people were just about capable of believing David Icke. But when he talked about reptilians, it says, "Oh, David, why did you have to say that?" But I would recommend, if anybody sees him speaking, he is the most amazing speaker. He speaks for 10 hours without any records or notes. The only problem I have with him now, I think he is a bit controlled opposition now, because he doesn't recognize Q, doesn't talk about it. I think, he's had a very high pressure life, 30, 40 years of being attacked. I think he's taking a safe route at the moment, but he's still doing things that other people dare not do, and naming names. He's the most incredibly brave man. He was out on his own. And I think, Alex Jones is definitely controlled opposition, but again, woke up a lot of people, was very, very brave.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't think, by the way, these people who are controlled, they don't have any choice. You know, their children are threatened, their pets are threatened, they see other people die. They have no choice. And if they manage to still get a lot of truth out there and red pill a lot of people, and I'm really grateful to them. But I think, as we know, for example, Trump is, a lot of people are flipping. And I think the ones who are flipping are the ones who had absolutely no choice and were controlled and terrorized and blackmailed. They had no choice. And then you get the really evil ones who, again, in some ways don't have a choice because they were born into it. They're mind controlled from childhood. If you went into a church full of 100 Satanists, only 5 of them would know they were there. That's how difficult it is for Q. And therefore, an awful lot of people will have to be forgiven and controlled. Otherwise, we'd lose half the workforce.
Yes, ma'am. What this is, everyone is astonished. What do you think about, was Princess Di murdered?
Oh, definitely, yes.
By the Queen?
I mean, all the significance. I mean, it was done by Skull and Bones, and I knew that straight away. I was on TV, actually. I was on TV the day of the Twin Towers coming down. That was the day I said that was an inside job. With Diana, I actually went, at the time of her funeral, I went to the palace. I was so upset. And I contacted her psychic a week before she died and said she's got to get away from Dodi because I knew that he was controlled and that he would lead to trouble. And she wasn't warned, or she didn't listen. Apparently, a lot of people warned her. But she was mind controlled. She came from the same background as I did. She had a horrendous life. The place that it happened had satanic significance. The memorial to her in Hyde Park, in Kensington Gardens in central London, is a pirate ship, which was just, these people like to do things in plain sight, as you know.
Absolutely, because of free will. They're allowed to.
Yes. And they like to put it in your face. I mean, my parents used to have hamburger parties in the summer, and there'd always be babies in the hamburgers. That's something that goes way back. But the Skull and Bones was signified by the pirate ship as her memorial. It was a very odd thing to do. But yes, the whole thing was planned. And Mohammed Fayed, I knew he was dangerous. He was connected to Adnan Khashoggi. He was financed by Adnan Khashoggi. So the minute she was connected to that family, I knew her time was up, really. They said it was because she was going to marry a Muslim or she was pregnant. It wasn't. That was just a way of getting her into a certain place at a certain time. Diana was on a yacht in the Mediterranean the day she died. She came up to Paris it got up at about 6 o'clock in the morning, traveled to Paris. She had a very busy day shopping. She was going to meet her sons the next day. She was checked into the Ritz Hotel. She was very comfortable, all unpacked there, going to the airport the next day. Why would she then get into a car and go to look at Dodi's flat? She looked very uncomfortable in the lift, very uncomfortable, being guided by other people all the way. She was just forced to get into that car. And by the way, she always wore a seatbelt. I used to see her in traffic in London all the time. And I used to think, why is she wearing a seatbelt over that satin dress? But she always wore one. And she probably had one on at the time of the crash. And the driver was injected with drugs. The doctor that arrived at the scene was one of them. I mean, he wasn't a random doctor.
Oh, absolutely not. I'm sure he was CIA, or you said reptilian. Is that what you said?
I don't know whether he was reptilian, but he certainly was one of them. Well,
sure, absolutely. Everyone that arrived on the crime scene definitely was not a part. That it was not organic.
But the thing that happened that was very significant that he did, and I only saw it on one news flash at the very, very beginning, and it was the oxygen tank he used. And some reporter said, that's not oxygen, that's carbon dioxide. And then I never saw it again. So she wasn't given oxygen, probably carbon dioxide, and I'm not medical at all, but maybe to keep her in a state of suspended animation, because they didn't want her soul to escape. Diana had a Christ level soul. They wanted her soul escaping. It was too powerful. And so they had to make sure they captured her soul, and that would mean an Illuminati ritual, satanic ritual to do that. And then they would have put her soul into another person or another child. But who knows? Maybe they've got on a desert island one there. Have you seen that advertisement for German beer or Swedish beer that shows the ships going past the desert island and all the people on the beach rushing to get covered up because they're people like Elvis Presley, just famous people who are meant to have died. I kind of hope there's a lot of them on an island somewhere.
Right. Do you think that people? So you're saying that she did do SRA and that she did drink adrenochrome. You're saying that about Princess Di?
No, not knowingly. She would have grown up in that environment. When her brother inherited the family home, Althorp Estate, in Northamptonshire, he remarked how he found all the satanic books in the library, I think, and there'd been stuff in the news about satanic things in the grounds. She grew up, I mean, she's bloodline. That's why she had to be, the mother of the heir to the throne. So she came from, so she would have been ritually abused like me.
Sure.
She wouldn't have done anything, but
sure.
The reason they got rid of her was she wasn't one of them. If she'd been one of them, she'd still be alive. She was just there to produce children.
So, after this, I need to let you go because other people are calling. And is there any way that we could have you on as like a guest one day here soon?
Maybe. I don't know that I could add an awful lot to what I've said. Let me think about it. And if you have some way of contacting you, maybe. Well,
yes, ma'am. You can email me. You can definitely email me and just leave your name as Nadia. And I will get back to you. This is the most interesting conversation I've had probably on this podcast through just a random caller. I find this to be very interesting. I find it to not be a coincidence at all that you called in tonight. And I think there are so many people here who find this incredible and they find it remarkable. So we need to harp on this. This doesn't happen. This isn't something that happen is a common occurrence. We need to definitely, we don't have to say your name. We could just say anonymous, and then you could talk about it.
It isn't common simply because I'm English. I mean, there's several people written books in America.
Yes, ma'am.
Very great, but they just haven't written them here. And that is because we don't have access to therapy. But as I say, we're 10 years behind America with everything. Luckily, with pollution, we're 10 years behind you as well. I mean, I lived in America in the 60s, and it was heaven on earth. It was absolutely idyllic. But there was clean air and no pesticides. Everything was organic, and the food was delicious, and the people were so hardworking and welcoming. And it was the time of the Vietnam War, so everybody was trying to avoid the draft.
Sure.
Even then, I was stunned at how I was working with very old people who were just having to pay medical bills, whereas here we don't pay them. So I was aware of how badly Americans were treated by their politicians, really, and the government, how much money was wasted on the military. And I really think Trump needs that military at the moment, but at some point it could become a defense force and a civil force, that does things like building the wall. That's what a military should be there for. And
absolutely.
I'm really glad Trump seems to want to save those lives,
So here's a question real quick, and then I'll let you go, Nadia. And I definitely, if you could please just give me your email or send me something that I can keep in touch with you. Speaking of Space Force, you speak of reptilians. You've seen them personally. Do you think this is the cause of Space Force?
Well, Trump has to have his own military that he can control, as we saw with the helicopters. It had to be completely secret, and that was very clever. I mean, I think that whole thing in Los Angeles was incredibly clever.
Absolutely amazing.
The guise of, the training exercises when it quite clearly wasn't. I wonder what else he's doing that we don't even know about. I mean, it was quite deliberate that it would be seen. Because those people could have been put in trucks. It didn't have to be helicopters. So I have a feeling what the agenda is there is to frighten some of these people who are trying to run and hide. It will cause a lot of people to flip because they'll know they're not safe, that Trump has that military and he can get them. And I think putting it out in the open is a way of making people flip because they'll just be too frightened to carry on. They'll know that it's safe to go to Q. And I think a lot of people now can be sort of disempowered because of that.
Yes, ma'am. And so you do think that Space Force may not be just be used for satellite weaponry. You think that it could be intergalactic, interdimensional, a threat?
I mean, even growing up with these people and having followed David Icke for years as well, it's still sometimes too much for my mind. I sometimes watch funny animal things on YouTube just to get.
Oh yeah, you got to calm down. I understand. You got to be grounded.
Yeah, I mean, it's because it's just so shocking. And for people who haven't had it, been in this world for 30, 40 years, it must be very, very shocking. And I think what Q and Trump have taken on is so mind-blowing. I get very annoyed with people who say they're not seeing any action. Do they have any idea what Q Trump are up against? It's absolutely massive. The number of these people, the underground people, you have people maybe on other planets, the number who've escaped to islands, the way they are in. I mean, every training course for the police, for the judiciary, for council workers, for government workers includes neuro-linguistic programming. So they all speak this ridiculous government language and they all follow instructions. The number of people who are controlled on lower levels, the foot soldiers in government, is just incredible. And I don't know how the Q Trump team are going to deal with that. And as for they can get the big people, they're obvious, they're out there, they've been tracking them. But what about all the Satanists killing babies in their garage or their sitting room? How are they going to get those? I don't know. There's just got to, you have to believe in a God that will, they say there's going to be some really big sort of switch. We're going to get help.
I believe that's already taken place. You think it's Palladians?
Maybe, who knows? It's all beyond me, but I do believe it's there. I do believe something will start changing people on a level that they can't comprehend.
We are changing. Nadia, from everyone, I mean, you're reaching, hundreds of people right now. And, I'm reached a ton of people just trying to put this information out there just from research. It's all very real. I used to just be a normal guy. And now I don't have cable. I'm not a recluse or anything. I still go out and hang out with people, but it's the way that I visualize things is completely different. I'm definitely a much more positive person. I'm definitely my intuition level, my intellectual level is much higher. And I think we are all growing as light beings. I think that's what we are. Humans are not hateful. They're not these things that sacrifice children and drink adrenochrome and abuse people. We are light beings. We are one with God. We are of God. And I believe that this switch that you speak of is definitely what is occurring at this moment. It is a spiritual awakening, not just a physical awakening.
I think so, but the problem, even more so in America than here, is you're being dumbed down on such a level with fluoride, aspartame, GMOs, pesticides, and it's very hard to clear your pineal gland and be in touch with spirit guidance and being a light being if your body is so suppressed with all the junk and the chemtrails, of course. And yes. I do everything I can. We're chemtrailed to oblivion here in London, but I do everything to take supplements to deal with it. But our pineal glands are all closed with this stuff, and so it's very hard to pick up messages.
Yes, ma'am.
Help us to grow.
Golly, everything you were saying is 100% in the same scope as me. Everything you have said, I completely agree with everything you said. How did you find it? You said you've been following me for over a year?
I mean, yes. Well, I've been following Q. It just turned up on my iPad one day. I don't even remember how. I'd have to go back through the history because it was just one of those miraculous things that turned up. And I just somehow knew this was it. This is what I've waited for my whole life. This is hope,
That's incredible. So you found us tonight or in the past?
Oh, with your show in particular. I've been following you quite a while, and I've been really impressed because I could see you struggled reading sometimes, and you carried on, and you were so brave, and you got better and better and better.
Sure, it can get a little nerve-wracking when you're in front of thousands of people, right? They're watching you, so you can kind of stumble over words, and yeah, I get that.
And you're getting a lot of words that come from Europe, so they're words we're very accustomed to, like President Macron. I mean, Gilets jaunes, they're all words that aren't your everyday words in America. So, and I think you've been so brave. I've watched you get better and better and better as you get more accustomed to it and expanding, and you know, your struggles with going live, and you overcome that. And you're
Yes,
doing it
ma'am.
all on your own. So have you got a dog though? Because most moms seem to have dogs.
No, ma'am. I actually, I have gone through a complete physical change. I'm actually by myself now. I do this from a undisclosed location. I am away from my family, and this is where I do this now. So it is me, it is you, it is the Anons on 8chan, and the people that are in this chat. That is me. I do not own any pets. I love pets, but I am definitely I'm with you guys. So you have no idea the bravery that I know you have, and you know, you obtain. It's spectacular that you called in tonight. I think a lot of people are very, very impressed. And we definitely need you back, Nadia. This is not some random coincidence. I can tell you that much. Everything you've said tonight, I completely agree with.
I was sort of, when you came on and you gave the phone number, I just had a personality said, let's do it, or God said, let's do it. And whether I could do it again, I don't know. I might be too nervous. But as I might not be able to do it again, can I just explain a little bit about adrenochrome? Because,
yes, please go detailed into adrenochrome. Let's do this.
I won't say anything revolting, but what it is, it's hard to say it without being revolting, but just in case I forget to say, if you're eating meat, you're indulging in adrenochrome, because all animals that are killed are in a state of terror and anxiety, and therefore their blood is filled with adrenochrome. So eating meat is eating adrenochrome. But as far as they are concerned, the deep state, they torture children until their blood is full of adrenaline.
Correct.
And it's just not a case of frightening them with nasty pictures. It is physically torturing them. It's getting to them to watch their friends dying, or their pets dying, or their pets being tortured. It's pretty horrible. And when they want to sacrifice babies and have the blood of those babies, the mother has to be tortured for 3 days ahead of time to make sure that blood in the baby is full of adrenochrome. And these people are completely addicted to it. And they addicted me to it simply because my body, due to the torture, was always full of adrenochrome, which is why you get so many people self-harming now and cutting themselves. Because when adrenochrome is running through your body from anxiety, you've got to get rid of it. You can't bear having it in your blood because it makes you so uncomfortable and upset and hyper. So you cut yourself to get rid of the blood, and very often drink it yourself. And you end up an adrenaline addict. So in my case, I'm having nothing to do with Satanists. I don't follow their practices. And by the way, I do believe I'm blessed because I haven't grown up wanting to do what they want to do. It's repugnant to me. You know, I save slugs and spiders. So I'm really, really lucky I haven't wanted to do that, which is why it's quite hard to blame them, because I grew up in that background and don't want to do it, but they all do. They don't seem to have any control over it. I never wanted to. It's like, is being gay a choice or not? No, it isn't a choice. And so, but I still have an adrenaline addiction because I grew up on adrenochrome, my own adrenochrome in my body. And I gave up eating meat when I realized what was going on. But I still have a need to get adrenaline. And I do that by being late, by not paying bills, anything that will cause me to feel very anxious. And, you know, I don't leave the house until I absolutely have to, and that creates adrenaline in my body. And it's a very hard addiction to beat. So if you know people who are adrenaline junkies, like police, firemen, skydivers, people who are always late, people who shoplift, people who steal, they're often adrenaline junkies from childhood. And they're getting their adrenaline in a way that doesn't hurt babies. So, you know, if I'm late, yes, I might get adrenaline in my blood, but I'm not killing babies. And that's my sort of short explanation of what adrenochrome is.
Unbelievable. I know everything about what you're talking about. It's not happened to me personally, but I've researched it so far and so deep that everyone on here is just like, this is crazy. I've said, please share this because this is this is meant to happen. I don't know how many people are on the stream right now. I have no idea. I don't look at it, but this is one of the most incredible stories I've ever heard in person. And I know you're being truthful. I know you're being honest. And this is I think a lot of people are completely blown away right now. And there's a reason for you to talk to us today. Your thoughts on what is to come in the future. What do you think? Do you think that we will be alleviated from this evil? Do you think it'll be eradicated? What do you think is going to happen here in the next, let's say the remainder of just this presidential term of Trump, 2 years? What's going to happen in 2 years?
Well, I believe Trump will remain alive.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe he'll be safe. I believe he follows the law of attraction. He went to a church. His parents took him to a church where the pastor was Norman Vincent Peale, who followed the law of attraction. And I see Trump doing it when he says really wonderful and really great. He's going to make them great, because you know how, for example, you can meet someone and they're really nice to you and they're really horrible to their ex-wife. He will bring out the best in people. And he is converting people. People are following him, like me. I knew nothing about him. I've never seen him on television until I started seeing his rallies and got convinced. But we create our reality from our thoughts. It's not a religion. It's actually in the Bible. Ask and it should be given. And lots of phrases are in the Bible, but they were removed to stop us realizing that our thoughts are creative. You know how if you decide you're going to have a bad day, or you're going to see someone and you think, oh God, they were so nasty last time, I bet they'll be nasty again. That's what you get. If you decide, oh, they're going to be really nice and they're going to apologize for being nasty last time, they will be nice. So we have to believe. Our belief is what we'll get. And we'll reach critical mass at some point. Maybe that's 10%. I don't know what critical mass really is. But at some point, the scales will swing and they'll go heavily down on our side and we'll start winning. But we have to believe it. So when you pray for Trump, and I believe Trump is my age. His energy is phenomenal. His concentration,
correct.
His memory.
Yes.
How he does it on burgers, I don't know. But he gets his energy from the rallies, I believe, from people. When you go to a live
the
rally,
energy.
He's picking up the energy. That's what aging pop singers do. You know, Rolling Stones, Mark Knopfler, people who, but Bruce Springsteen, they get that amazing energy, that injection of life force from the audience. And it's really important we all keep sending that to Trump. So when you're feeling good or you're exercising or you're dancing, send that energy to Trump and Melania and all the Q team, because my God, they need it. They are fighting evil.
Well,
and so don't ever pray. If you pray for him not to be attacked or not to be shot, that's a really bad prayer. Just pray for him to be safe. Pray for him to enjoy old age. I pray to see him as a 96-year-old man in a lovely room lined with pictures of all the memes all over the walls, because I want him to have time to see all those memes and to see all those wonderful videos that people have made of him. And he doesn't have time, I'm sure, to see them now. I want him to be looking at them all when he's 96 and he's still with Melania, and maybe by then Barron will be president. Who knows? But I see an amazing future, because that's what I choose to see. And I think is the reason I stayed alive, and that's to see this future.
So
thank you for what you're doing, because you've given up everything for this.
Yes, ma'am. I've given up. I've literally given up. A lot has happened. I have a question from someone who donated. Has anyone written a book about her therapist? She said her therapist was murdered because she was treating SRA victims. How can we find any information on this?
I can only say my personal information. David Icke dedicated his book, I think it was The Biggest Secret, to her, Vera Diamond. She was a therapist who treated people like me very, very bravely. She, am I still connected?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I think my phone's running out of battery, so I'll just plug the charger in.
Yeah. Continue on. This is incredible. If you need to take a break, we can take a break. I actually, I definitely need to use the restroom very quickly. but I definitely want to
Okay.
continue this. Is that okay? Can we take like a 2-minute break?
Because I have multiple personality disorder, I wouldn't be the same person when I came back.
No, then we'll continue. Let's continue now.
So, just very, very quickly.
No. Take your time. Take your time. Let's go.
Okay. Well, Vera Diamond was a therapist in Harley Street, married to a consultant, and they infiltrated the building, very expensive building. They infiltrated there with a receptionist. What these people do is they split up marriages. So they sent a receptionist in to seduce her husband. So that split up the marriage. They got people to rent consulting rooms in the building who didn't pay the rent. So they lost the consulting practices, the big building in Harley Street. She had to deal with a divorce. She carried on working with clients throughout homelessness and rehousing herself and getting started again. She carried on working with she was threatened, her children were threatened. And finally, she died. They put some poison in her sugar substitute. And I had a dream telling me it was done, and I wasn't seeing her by the time it happened. And I sent a message to tell her. And the next thing I knew, she died. And David Icke, to his credit, came all the way from the Isle of Wight. It's quite a journey by sea to her funeral. And he was there and supported her in death. And she was just very, very brave. And I wouldn't be here without her. At the time I saw her, I thought I was going crazy. I could barely cope. And she knew they were going to get her. She absolutely knew. And we all know that our life is fragile, if we're talking about this stuff. And she was saving us, she was saving too many people, and she was talking about it, and just very, very brave. And she's one of thousands, I'm sure, if not more. So a wonderful, wonderful woman. And I'm going to carry on. I don't know what my part is in this. Maybe, I've been asking, I've been watching people like you and Red Pill and oh gosh, and my memory is going, the lovely one who does all the cartoons. His name's escaping me for the moment. iPod. I just think Q has created this movement. I think Q must be amazed at what has turned up, because all these people who were just very good on computers have become anons, and they have developed into this thing nobody could have ever imagined. It's just growing and growing. And in the Matrix has now got this amazing alternative website turned up yesterday or today.
Yes, ma'am.
One of his listeners, followers, has created. And it's going to be an alternative if YouTube takes you all down. And it's just evolving in a way that is quite mind-blowing, that the creativity. And when you think you've all had fluoride, I don't know where you get your brains from, because you are just so amazing. And every day you all get better and better and better. And I think Q must be so impressed by you. And so I've been sort of watching and thinking, God, I'm only just surviving and I'm not doing anything. So it may be my phoning wakes a few people up, or, because a lot of people will read this and think it can't be true. They don't eat babies and drink blood. Yes, they do.
Everyone here believes you. Everyone here believes you. They all believe you. I don't know how many. I think there was over 500 people in this chat. Over 500 people are completely agreeing with you. This will go. This is going to go to it goes straight to YouTube. Nobody they know your first name. They don't know your last name, anything like that. Your number is covered. This is probably going to go viral. This is literally the greatest conversation I have ever held with a human being that I have no idea who you are or anything like that. I believe everything you were saying. And this is spectacular for all of us. This is you're awakening so many people, and correct when you talk about in the Matrix and Praying Medic, Jordan Sather, True Reporting, Dustin Nemos, Tracy Beans, Corticon, all of these people. There's literally only about 10 channels that are Red Pill 78. My God, I don't want to forget him. There are literally only about 10 channels that are doing this. We are we're the new news, Nadia. You know this, correct? You know this.
I think I follow all of you, and I began with Praying Medic, I think. And actually, he's the one I use to red pill people, because when I meet people in the street, I just get them pushed on their phone. Praying Medic, Q for beginners, and that's what I put on their phones. Whether they go home and follow it or not, I don't know. In fact, I just met two girls tonight who were skateboarding, and I told them, and they were completely brainwashed about vaccinations and so on. But I've got a very personable dog. So, you know, people talk to me and I just try and red pill everyone I meet. People cross the road when they see me, I think. But if I couldn't do it without being able to refer them. Now, in comments, once someone else had this idea, it's not my idea, but when you're on comments for, you know, fluffy dogs and cats and there's several million views, or there was something I was on today which had loads of views, or it was just the ordinary one for Venezuela, I think. Anyway, it was something, had loads of millions of views. Just put the plan to save the world or something like that, because people will follow it. And it's such a convincing 15 minutes, it's not too much of their time, and it absolutely will red pill people, or at least get them started. And so if you just put a few links, I don't know how to do a link to make it blue. I've got to learn how to do that. But if you just do that on sites that are nothing to do with Q, you know, health sites, anywhere, you can put it anywhere in the comments. And even if one person gets it, it spreads. So that was someone else's idea, not mine.
Well, I have a question real quick with you. What do you think about time travel and Baron Trump? I'm very into this.
That book. Well,
I've read that book. I own both those books. I've read both of them.
Gosh, amazing. Well, Baron Trump, I mean, he's obviously a very special child. They say there are indigo children and crystal children.
Yes, ma'am. Jesus, I'm telling you, Nadia, I have got, please email me your email address, please. Everything, I'm so on par with you, have no idea. Like you don't understand. I am completely connecting with you right now.
That's brilliant. It's lovely to speak the same language as someone else. But to anyone who doesn't understand what we're talking about, indigo and crystal children are just very special souls. They've reincarnated a lot of times. They have no need to come back to this planet. They've come back to help. And the government is actually trying to wipe them out. And they're often born autistic because they're very fragile and they get done in by vaccination.
My son is autistic. My 7-year-old is autistic.
Okay, so that makes him very special. You need to read a book called The Gut and Psychology by Dr. Natasha McBride. She invented the GAPS, G-A-P-S diet for her autistic son and cured him. Now, I wouldn't say that autistic people need curing because they're perfect as they are.
Do you think that autism is do you think it's an evolution of man?
Well, it's you could call it an evolution of the pharmaceutical industry, because what happens, I believe, is when a child is vaccinated, if their life is really, really organized, they have a totally organic diet, they have no problems at home, they're not bullied at school, they've got really good parents who are together, then they can withstand vaccination. But if they're very fragile, and they might be these souls, because, for example, my Persian cats are always damaged by vaccination. A very fragile soul that's reincarnated to be one of these children, they can't withstand the vaccination, so it will cause them to be autistic. But a bit like a cold is a gift from God to get rid of the mucus caused by drinking milk, I think autism is something that's caused by vaccination, but is also a gift from God, because it creates these very, very special people. And if some of them are quite happy, and I mean, I've got Asperger's as well as everything else. And Asperger's has helped me in some ways and being difficult in relating to people in other ways. But the diet can balance it and make it easier for them to operate and then develop their gifts and skills and use them more productively. So they've got to be off all chemicals and monosodium glutamate and gluten and milk and all those things, just to help them to use their skills and develop their skills. But I do think they're special. I think they, and the government is trying to wipe them out. I mean, they'll do it through child protection services. I've got a friend with an autistic child, and the government has done everything to have her declared an unfit mother and take the child away, and she's stuck with it. So they will make it very difficult for parents, and you've probably experienced that. But I do think they're special. So the indigo and the crystal children, they are special. They have a special link to God. They are here. Maybe they're going to help us deal with the extraterrestrials. Maybe they will be able to communicate with them in a way that we can't.
Yes,
More
ma'am.
grounded people.
So
They have a wavelength that we haven't got.
correct. So back to Barron. Barron has been said that he has autism, maybe high functioning. He is a grandmaster chess player, which most people who are grandmaster chess players are in the 20s and 30s, if not later in age. Do we find that Trump is Barron Trump is a time traveler? These books are very the synchronicity within these books. The Last President, 1900. Barron Trump's, I believe it's something adventures, miraculous adventures, something like that. These books are written in the 1800s, 1900s, early 1900s, late 1800s. Yet these prophecies, not necessarily a prophecy, but it's almost like they are come to fruition. What is the what is the correlation between all of this happening? What is the correlation between Barron and QAnon?
With Barron, I actually, it was him that got me into Trump, because I saw him with Trump on the stage at one of the rallies before the election, I think. And the way he and Trump related and looked at each other, I just thought Trump has to be a good guy. His son would not be looking at him this way. And I also saw the way that Barron walked. He looked up at the ceiling and walked in a tippy-toe way. That he had some autistic.
Yes, he definitely has autism.
And look at the rate he's growing. My God, they're feeding him a lot of organic food.
He's about 6'4" and he's 12 years old.
Yes, amazing. I think he's very, very special. Who knows what he
Pleiadian?
Want him to just be happy, whatever he does. But I think he's got a very special role. I think he will be able to communicate with people in a different way, because autistic people have trouble relating to normal people because of noise and confusion and so on, which might mean that they can relate to extraterrestrials and some other entities that we don't know. So he's probably got a role for the future, and I hope I'm around to see it, because he's very special. And it takes amazing parents, as you know, to raise an autistic child. Amazing parents.
Yes, ma'am. So you believe that? Do you believe that with his height, with his stature, could possibly be a time traveler, non-terrestrial? And what do you think? This is a question that is always on the fringe. This is on the tipping point. A lot of people, even myself, think that Jared Kushner could be of a black hat, someone not to be trusted, maybe an entity that is not of light. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't think Trump would be around him if he was, but Trump obviously was doing big deals in New York. He had to be around a lot of very nasty people. He had to have a lawyer who was a very nasty person. Otherwise, he couldn't have got the deals. And that's why he's so good for this job, because he knows the dark side inside out. And I'm sure he's been very, very close to the edge of it. But I think as I grew up in a totally evil family, everybody I knew was totally evil, but I am not. So I would only say that Jared Kushner could be like me. He could have grown up in this background. He could have even been part of it, and maybe isn't now, but he is the best Trojan horse that you could have in that case. I can only guess. And, so he would look as if he's one of them, but not be.
Right.
I mean, I when Trump was elected and he surrounded himself with Zionists, I thought, oh, no, I tell you.
Right, yeah, more of the same.
I mean, if we were all wrong about Trump, I mean, there'd be so many suicides, I couldn't bear it. But I'm absolutely certain I've followed Q and Trump long enough to be convinced, because I've got so much inside information. I know they're not lying. And I think Jared Kushner could be, a white hat wearing a black hat for the moment.
I have one last question for you. It just came into my mind. It could be important. It could be a total dud. Do you know about the Law of One?
I might do. Tell me what it is, and I'll remember if I do or not.
The Law of One. I've read this book also. The Law of One is basically a woman who was a conduit for an entity known as Ra. And basically, this is a fifth dimensional being. This was all documented, recorded. There were many books written about this. And this person was basically the conduit speaking through, or a fifth dimensional being speaking through this woman who was a conduit, and basically told us that we are all one. Basically, was talking about what is to come. And this came out in the early, it may have been in the late 1990s or early 2000s, may even before then. And a lot of what has been said has come true. If you do not, it's an incredible book. It's all over the place. A lot of people like David Wilcock, Jordan Sather, a lot of people have talked about this book. A lot of us definitely speak on this. Are you familiar with this?
You know, I've heard the name, but no, it's not. I mean, I followed Esther Hicks and Abraham, and that's been a great support to me, and other ones like Seth. So I totally believe in channeled people. And it's interesting you should mention David Wilcock, because when we were talking about Baron, I feel they have a sort of similar look to them. I wonder if David Wilcock is indigo. Quite possibly, because he's got a lot of intuitive guidance. I believe he thinks he was Edgar Casey, doesn't he, in a past life. I certainly believe in past lives, because it's happened with my cats and my dogs. They've all come back from before. And I've had dreams telling me where to go and get them and what their names will be. So there's so much going on we don't know about. I need to look into that.
If you do not want to buy the book, you can definitely go on YouTube and just type in The Law of One. And it's like 150 videos, and it's just interviews of the actual thing taking place, the conduit taking place, the channeling taking place. And it's one of the most incredible things I've ever listened to. It's definitely free on YouTube if you do not want to buy the book. If you're a reader, it'll take you some time to get through, and it should be very, it should be very relaxing and informative to you. So I think it would be a on the plus side.
I'll try and remember the name of it, because I don't know that I've got anywhere I can write it at this minute. But Law of One, I should be able to remember that, shouldn't I?
Nadia, do you have an email address? Anything?
I do have an email address, and I might contact you afterwards. I say I often switch personalities, and I'm kind of going. I've got personalities who are telling me it's really dangerous to be talking like this, and so I feel I was guided to ring you. So whether I'll switch to another personality when I end the phone call, so I don't know quite what I'll be doing at that point. I just picked up something to write with, and it was a dog chew. Like, you can't write with those.
Right.
The Law of One, isn't it? I will try.
The Law of One, yes, ma'am. It's incredible. Can you please just get a pen so I can give you my email?
What is it in your? You put it under the program?
Yes, it's in. It's a True Reporting 1985 at Gmail.
Oh, you've just faded.
I'm posting it multiple times.
Hear me? Oh, I think we're cutting out after a very good line all this time. Hello?
Yes, I'm here. True Reporting.
Oh.
Yes, I'm here. True Reporting 1985 at gmail.com.
Okay.
So
1985 is the year you were born.
Yes, ma'am. 1985.
I'm 1947. Too much information. Right, True Reporting. Oh, glasses, what a pain they are.
It's okay. True Reporting. No, there's no periods in between. Just TRU Reporting at 1985 at Gmail.
Okay. Well, you've been so lovely. I shall do my very best to send a line of email to you.
You have been so sweet and so thoughtful, and God bless you. You have a lot of love in this chat. Everything that you've said tonight, I 100% agree with. I know this was supposed to happen. You have no idea how much this means to me and so many other people. And I pray that you stay safe. I pray that you aren't in danger. I pray that that all is well for you, Nadia. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart.
I think I believe it will be. I haven't got this far to give up at this point. There's too much to live for. It's going to be. We're going to have heaven on earth.
Yes.
That's what's going to happen. And as long as we all believe it, imagine it, visualize it, we will get it. And with people like you, just thank you so much for giving up everything you've done and your bravery, and how you've grown and evolved with this. I've been impressed and watching. Your mother must be proud, although you say you're not in touch with them.
No. My parents do not like what I do. My family does not like what I do. They don't get it. I'm alone. I'm a lone wolf, and I do this because I know it's correct. I know it's right. I've lost a lot, and I'm on my own. This is what it's come to.
You've lost a lot, but the rewards are going to be great in the future. I mean, you gained the Q family, and you'll be at the White House getting your medal along with various other people. So that's going to be worth it. And at that point, maybe your family will want to know you again.
Yes, ma'am. I greatly hope so. It is what it is right now. And, Nadia, I pray that you keep in touch with me. I pray that you just email me so we can keep in touch. You're a special person. And, I wish the best for you. Seriously.
Thank you. Thank you very much for listening to me. And thank you for everyone else who's listening to me. I hope I haven't been boring.
Absolutely. The least boring conversation I've probably had in 20 years. So my friend, I consider you. Please take care of yourself, and please email me. I would greatly appreciate that.
I will do. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Nadia, thank you. Have a great evening. Thank you.
I won't even stay safe because I know you will stay safe.
Yes, ma'am.
You're protected. Okay.
Take care.
Good night. It's 2:30 in the morning here.
Have a wonderful night. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Good night. Speechless. Guys, if you enjoyed that, please share this video. Donate, support, share this video, like this video, anything, subscribe to this channel. That you will not hear that on any other channel. I can guarantee you that was supposed to happen. You witnessed that in real time with me. That was supposed to happen. That was the craziest, most amazing thing. That's going to be on YouTube forever. It's going to be on YouTube forever. Be a part of it. Please be a part of it, guys. Unbelievable. I'm literally in shock. That was no coincidence that Nadia called from England to do that. Please share this. Please donate. Please support this channel. Please leave a like. If you can't donate or support, please just like what we just listened to. I have no idea how many people are in here. We've been going for an hour and a half. I am going to let me use the restroom real quick, and I will be right back. You guys stick around. We need to talk about this. We got to talk about what just happened. This is unbelievable, guys. Be right back.
I finally feel like this is the right life. I'm on it now. I was a bit off track for a while, here and there. Not exactly knowing who I was. Now I think I know.
We're back. It's not over. About halfway through. Yeah, Most High says Thomas is not alone. He works on his own without support from his family, but he is never alone. Thank you, Most High. Very sweet of you. Live stream still going. He took a break. Pee break. Absolutely. Yeah, that call was remarkable. Nadia from the UK. You won't hear that anywhere else, guys. I can bet your bottom dollar on that. Christy Bowling, thank you, sweetie.
Things about myself. I've just chosen to not recognize.
Oh, there's a lot to recap. That's what we're about to get into, friends.
I didn't crave to want to feel great because I haven't felt the way I've been feeling recently and feel now.
Let's regroup.
Like I feel full again.
All right, let's take a call. Hey, what's up? Who's this?
Hello,
Hey, what's up? Who's this?
this is Martin from Cleveland, Ohio.
Martin from Cleveland, Ohio. Welcome. What's on your mind, my friend?
Well, I just wanted to give a little info on the things over LA, planes flying around, and my sources are telling me that's 100% a dirty bomb
A dirty bomb where?
in LA.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
that's
You
a
think that
big
they prevented it from happening?
No, I'm not saying I think. I'm just saying 100% certainty. I know that that's what they did. That was a dirty bomb. You know, that was supposed to be a false flag distraction from, you know, whatever nefarious plans these evil ones have.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing when they were circling around, the same thing over Denver. I think they went down there in the tunnels and the underground bunkers and, you know, killed the people. I'm sure that what we're talking about here is classified, so I doubt if Q can tell us or Trump can tell us what they're doing, but my information comes from above. I mean, this is all coming from the Greys. They're telling us exactly what's going on.
So you think the Greys are
Also-
telling us what's going on?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they're helping, no doubt. I mean, they're at the top of the technology. You know, I mean, they're at the very tippy top, you know, billions or trillions or more, much more advanced than not only us, but all the other extraterrestrials that are out there. You know, they police it. That's their job. They're running around police. I mean, think about it. We've never been attacked before. You know, when have aliens ever, you know, in our history, there's nothing that I know of where, you know, we've been attacked. They're helping us.
Right.
Always have, always will. So, I mean, we don't have anything to worry about. You know, when, after, you know, the pole shift, they're probably going to give some of us good people in our survival camps, like backpacks that you can just plug anything into and it'll work for, I don't know how many lifetimes. And we'll be able to do things, you know, and the other people, the evil people, you know, I know people who, I talk to men who say, yeah, I'm just going to get my rifle and I'm just going to kill people and eat them. And I try to explain to them that, you know, you're not going to get any help. You know, you're going to be stuck, you know, knee deep or waist deep in the mud, you know. So, you know, what I really wanted to call and tell you about was like the people in Asia over there, they have been sneaking into Russia, the Asians. They're very smart people, very bright. They know, like me and you, they instinctively know to just tell everyone. And they, you know, blah, blah, blah. They tell this guy, that guy tells that, everybody's telling everybody. So they're sneaking out of there and trying to get into a safer place up there in the mountains in the Urals is a safe place. Usually any high place is pretty good. You know, Russia, they're building 40 million of their Russian people to be safe. Where over here in America, you know, we're not doing that. You know, just the rich people. And anyway, the Russians, they wanted to know, okay, how are these Asians getting in here? We got to stop them.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to launch a satellite into space and try to spy. So what happens is the Greys, they can't just, you know, take it out or, you know, do whatever they want. The Greys, they go back out there and they ask permission. Okay, they tell them, okay, this is what's going on. Asians are sneaking into Russia. Russia wants to build satellites, spy on them, see how they can stop them from getting into the country. I mean, anybody with an iota of common sense would know that you intentionally want to sneak into Russia to what? You know, they're not there, you know, you can't find a good job in Russia. They're trying to save their lives. So anyway, they vote on it. From the name that I know, it's not this Intergalactic Space Federation or something. They call themselves the Council of Worlds.
Are you the gentleman? Are you the gentleman that's a contactee?
That's correct. I've been doing this for 30 years.
What's your name?
My name is Martin Feliciano.
Yeah.
They listen. They know Tom. They know who I am. The people, you know, the evil ones.
Well,
They've been
you
here.
call in. You're the only contactee that calls in. You called in multiple times, correct? We've spoken before, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember. We're good, my friend. I'm sorry.
That's okay. And so the great.
We got about another minute with you. Okay, so let's
Okay.
Yeah,
They tell
you
them-
good.
They tell the Council of Worlds, Russians want to set up a satellite stop them. What should we do? They all take a vote. Each planet gets one vote. They agree that these people are allowed because they're in fear of their life. To just like you, Tom, you're allowed. The aliens, all the aliens in the universe believe that you are allowed. If you want to go to Canada or Mexico, wherever you want to go, you want to flee to save your life, that's legal. So Russia launches the satellite in space, and the Greys take it out, and it's documented. I mean, their craft failed, and they'll continue to do that. They're going to continue to help us. They're going to continue to help human beings as they always have for tens of thousands of years. So don't you worry your head, okay?
No worry.
Don't worry
And
about
Martin,
that.
Martin, I'm
That's not
serious,
fact.
man. I'm on board with you with all this stuff. I've seen stuff that I can't explain. I don't know if it was us or them. My intuition tells us that it could be a little of both. And if you did not listen to the last caller, Nadia, were you able to
I
listen?
did.
That wasn't that incredible.
It is incredible, and it is so nice to have some sort of verification that what we know is happening in this country, with the FBI and CIA murdering innocent civilians just because we know things, just because we learn things, because we're contactees, because they're whistleblowers, because we're telling the truth. It's got to stop. It's got to end. And yes, the Greys are helping us, and they're helping Trump. They're helping Q. They're helping them. They're clearing our path, Tom. That's all Trump is doing. I picture Trump, when I think of Trump in my mind, I picture him with his suit on, out in the woods with a giant sickle in front of us, just chopping them weeds down.
Yes, man. Yeah, I that's not just you, man. That everyone thinks that there's definitely more that's going on behind the scenes. Definitely, if you want to think if it's non-terrestrials, you want to think of it as God, whatever you want to think about it. Maybe a little of both, a lot of one and a little of the other. I'm right there with you, my friend.
I always say that when I tell people, I say this is exactly how God is doing it.
I agree, bro. I agree.
That's all it means. If you help someone, if you up at a church and a lady looks like she's really hungry and starving, and you reach into your pocket and you hand her out a bunch of cash, and what does that make you? I mean, that just makes you a helper. That's all. That's
Sure.
how God did it, was through you.
Absolutely,
In her
Martin.
eyes, you are the angel.
Absolutely, Martin. My friend, you can call in. We're going to do this so much more. We are back up and running at 100% capacity. True Reporting is back, Martin, and you can call in anytime. I am very interested in what you talk about. Others may not be so into it, but, I find it to be very cool. I find it to be very intriguing, and you can call in anytime you want, my friend.
That's okay. Let all the trolls speak. They didn't do the research I did.
Sure, that's
this is a free country. We all get our voice.
Hey, this is especially with this channel. It's open forum. It doesn't have to be Q. It doesn't have to be environmental stuff. It doesn't have to be aliens or deep state. It's whatever you want to talk about. Hell, we could talk about LeBron James and basketball. I don't care. This is open forum, and I'm in. This is my channel, and I can listen to whatever I want to listen to, and that's what America's all about. So, Martin, you can call back tomorrow. We always do this from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I hope to hear from you very soon.
Thank you. You're the greatest, Tom.
You are too, my friend. Have a great, wonderful evening, okay?
I will. Thanks. Bye.
Take care, dude. Bye-bye. Old Martin, been calling in for a minute. Says he's a contactee. If you don't agree with him, why don't you talk to him yourself? Hey, what's up? Who's this?
Hey, this is Christy.
Hey, man, are you a little muffled? You think you can get some better audio?
Can you hear me better now?
No, it's really muffled. Are you on speaker?
No, I just live in the country. I'm sorry.
You're in another country?
No, I live out in the country. I'm in Tennessee. Maybe I can hear you in the bathroom better. Hang on.
I'll give you a minute.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Not really, so let's make it quick. Let's go.
Okay, well, I just wanted to say I appreciate everything that you do. And also, I'm really glad that both of your guests have been on tonight because it's always darkness to light. Not only with the corruption and everything, it's whole spectrum. And I also wanted to bring up the fact that the RBG video that TNT put out has been debunked. It's from back in 2018. So there's still no proof of life. That's about all I wanted to say for tonight.
Well, you can call back anytime, and just if we can hear you a little better, that'd be great. Just call back anytime, my friend. I appreciate your support. Please leave a like if you're listening, and tell your friends to subscribe because this is a real positive channel, and I appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you very much. You have a good night. I'll be watching.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, you can hear it good. That's good. Yeah, I don't know everything what you said. It was really muffled on my end. Yeah, Peter Murphy, buy him a new mic. Bro, this is a good mic. This was the calling coming in. Hey, JC, why don't you do me a favor and why don't you listen to what just happened? Because many people don't know who you are, and they should. You would be blown away at what just happened here about 10 minutes ago. Blown away. Tell him. People who are still in the chat, tell him what just happened about 20 minutes ago. JC missed out. No. JC's really, really close to me, and my best friend. But tell him what he missed out on. He missed out on a lot. David, no, I haven't. Guys, this video is going to go viral. What just happened? SRA victim, satanic ritual abuse victim called in from London, spoke with us for over an hour, completely detailed. Everything she spoke of was 100% true. Everything was correlation with what we know. One of the greatest call-ins ever. You won't hear that on other channels, I can tell you that. You want to know why? Because no one else does call-in shows. True Reporting is the only channel to do call-in shows. JC, you can go and listen to the last. It does post. These videos do post. Yeah, David McAteer, a lot of people shared it on Twitter. A lot of stuff happened tonight. A victim that is alive from SRA, satanic ritual abuse. Yes, incredible. Here's something cool. Hey, JC, check this out. How many of you witnessed what Nadia said was incredible? Give me a 1. If you thought it wasn't okay, give me a 2. If you believe Nadia, give me a 1 and you thought it was incredible. If you didn't believe it, give me a 2. JC is really close to this channel, so I'm just letting you know. If you believe what Nadia said, give me a 1. If you didn't, give me a 2. Thank you, hashtag Falcon. Josh, man. Or excuse me, JC. JC, I told you, bro. Told you. It was one of the craziest things I've ever listened to. It was, I'm telling you, this was on another level. This was above William Tompkins. This was above a lot of stuff that people hear. Unbelievable. You guys, you can call in. You can call in at 803-761-0511. 803-761-0511. I'll post it. 803-761-0511. That is the Skype number. If you want to talk in and chime in. Correct. On the beach, Terry, thank you. Thomas was the first to do call-in shows. Absolutely. If you want to call and put in your 2 cents, let's do it now. We got about 10 minutes left in the show. We've been going for 2 hours. 1000% believed her. I do too. I want autism and ADHD info. You're gonna have to look into it, my friend. My heart rate rose to thumping. Chunky Monkey says that's good. Also, friends, you can donate to this channel. You can support this channel to keep this channel alive by going to my PayPal and my Patreon. You can go to any video that is on my channel and check out my PayPal and Patreon. If you are not able financially to do so, which is cool, you can definitely just give me a like, and please follow me on Twitter at True Reporting. This has been an incredible night. Everything has gone completely perfectly in ordinance what we wanted it to go. We have had a wonderful stream. Everything technical wise has gone through. Audio is perfect. Everything is going wonderful. So show your appreciation. If you can donate, I would greatly appreciate it. I am on my own, so definitely take that into account. Excuse me. Yeah, definitely share this because other people are not going to be able to hear this. You know, we almost have 100,000 subscribers yet. People may not be getting notifications. So you need, if you do have Twitter, if you have Facebook, share this stream because what you heard for over an hour was completely real and you need to get it out there. People need to understand that satanic ritual abuse that the elites use, politicians use, Hollywood uses is completely real. We are awake. Where we go one, we go all, and we need to spread the awareness because it is very real. It is very palpable, and it needs to end. The evil must leave where we reside at. So, Karen Lee, hey, neighbor, Charleston. Yeah, JC, get this trending. Absolutely. Ron Shuckleson, will you please post your Oy Vey song? I would greatly appreciate it. Every time you post it on the comments, I laugh. If you would care to call in, you most certainly can. (803-761-0511) 803-761-0511. Call in. Let's talk. What do you think about what happened tonight? What do you think about the Q post? We have new Q tonight, actually, if you can see the channel. We can click reset. Reconcile. Why is every major news network expending resources covering QAnon? I can give you that right off the bat. Reconcile Q, because we are the threat. We are the threat. I'm going to catch me a reptilian. You can do it if they shapeshift in front of you. It's just, people may think it's crazy. Above what Tompkins told us, Bay Robinson says, yes. What happened tonight, you will not catch on any other channel. So please show your generosity, show your love by either donating and or liking this video, sharing this video on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, whatever you want to do. Share this outright, guys. A new creation says, Thomas, I missed half the interview. Can you please recap? I'm afraid this video might be knocked off. It will not be knocked off. Once it is ended, once we end this stream, which is in about 5 minutes, we will definitely it will post to YouTube. Give it about 30 minutes, it will post, okay? Vicky Richardson says, how can I wake up my friends? Definitely show her the Podesta emails. Show your friends the Podesta emails. On the beach, Terry says, we are the news. Absolutely, Terry. Love you. Ron Shuckleson, maybe with the grace of God, she emailed me, right, dude? And Ron, I need you to post that your song lyrics, please. James Robley says, Thomas, there will be more about pizza and walnut sauce. Absolutely, dude. Says the line is busy. Try it again, bro. Thomas, back it up. What you mean, sweetie? Back it up, bro. True classic. What do you mean back it up? Oh, you mean back up the video. Okay. If you want to call in, you most certainly can. Please tell me if it is just tweeted you out, dude. Thank you, Paul Corman. The number has changed. 803-761-0511. 803-761-0511. It should send you right through. $803. It's busy. There you go. Hey, what's up? Who's this?
Lisa?
Who?
Lisa?
Lisa, what's up? How are you?
Hey, is this Thomas?
Yes, ma'am. Would you please do me a favor? Can you please mute the stream? Just
Yes,
turn the
sir.
volume down. That's all you got to do.
Yes, sir. I wanted to talk about dissociating because that's kind of what I did for about 30 years.
Go for it.
It started when I got abducted by a stranger. He put a cloth over my face to make me pass out. And when I woke up, I was being carried into an apartment complex. And I started screaming and struggling, and he put the cloth to my face again. I was knocked out. When I came to again, I couldn't see anything except for pink, and come to find out later on that was my shirt. But I was strapped down to a table, and I heard two people arguing in the room, and I yelled out, and he came over and jumped on top of me, and I came out of my body. That was the first time that I dissociated. He tortured me later on for my name and my parents' names. And I knew he was going to come back because there's no reason to get my name unless you're going to come back. And he did. He called, he came by where we were living and started swimming at our pool. He was actually allowed to swim there. And I've tried to do investigation stuff on my own. Are you still there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm listening.
And I can't really get much help because when you dissociate, you don't, your time frame is messed up because you don't remember when the event happened because you'll recall it at a later time. It's not that you forgot it, it's just that it's blocked.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's hard for a lot of people because they don't realize that you can block a memory.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not anywhere close to the former caller, with the ritual abuse.
Wasn't that
but
incredible?
I'm sorry?
I said, wasn't that incredible?
Yeah. Oh, God, the bravery. We need a lot more people like her calling. That's why I decided to call,
Good for you. I'm glad that she gave you strength to call. That didn't have to happen. And, I find your bravery compelling. I really appreciate what you've done. You don't have to call me.
Well, I was hoping that maybe since you have a platform, maybe you could help me because I need to get a lawyer to ask a judge for the archived documents on my stolen trust fund, because the kidnapper, he got my name from me and everything, and he sent me a bunch of money and a brand new sports car. I never got
Okay.
to drive it or anything, but the trust fund was stolen by my family, and I can't get anywhere because I've tried to get a pro bono lawyer, but
Sure.
because I have multiple personalities, I always leave out critical details, and then I'm all scatterbrained, and it's a mess. Anyway, I was hoping like maybe we could do like a GoFundMe where I could get a lawyer to go before a judge so I can get these archived documents on my trust fund, and then sue my mother for stealing it and get the money, and I'll give you some.
Yeah, I mean, that would be cool. Whatever you want to do. I mean, that's the libel situation is a little bit out of my league, actually a lot of bit out of my league. And, I found the more, interesting topic was that you were an abductee, you said?
Yeah, it was a stranger abduction.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and then you said that you also had, which is kind of compelling and definitely correlates with the last caller, that you have multiple personality.
Well, I went to see just a regular therapist. She wasn't really trained in what I had, and she kind of threw me in shock because I wasn't aware that I had all these blocked memories. And I told her about the initial kidnapping and the phone call that he made to me like 4 years later.
Sure.
And she didn't believe either one of those. She's like, well, I got to talk to your mother. So she went and talked to Mother Dearest, and Mother Dearest said, quote, the boy from Lisa's obscene phone caller was the boy from the pool that lived around the corner. And she talked to him, knew where he lived.
Right.
I went to police, and they almost arrested me when I went there. And I had like this little bag with me because I figured that they were going to, not believe me either. So I bought a bunch of stuff to show a little bit of proof here and there,
Sure.
But it was, they left me in tears, man. They didn't tell me up front that a 5-year-old cannot make a report unless they have adult collaboration. And of course, my parents and family are not going to collaborate anything because they stole the money.
Yeah, I mean, if they're taking your money and they're taking, a lot of rights away from you, then you definitely need a lawyer. I mean, we could do a GoFundMe. You're definitely gonna have to go through the chat to do that because, if we all want justice, you can definitely ask for voluntary help. But other than that, I don't know what we can do. You can definitely keep in touch with us for sure.
Yeah, well, you're my go-to news source because you're young, and I love the fact that you're young and awake because I'm old and,
You're not old. You're only as old as you feel. You know what? Age is just a number. People say that as a cliche, but I find that to be extremely accurate.
That's true. We got a hell of a battle, though.
Hey, we're in a spiritual and physical battle, and we definitely, we're all in this together, and I appreciate your call. If you want to email me your situation, you definitely can. truereporting1985@gmail.com.
Okay, well, thank you for hearing me out, and I appreciate your show.
All right, sweetie, take care and call me anytime.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Guys, have you enjoyed tonight? I'm 34. How many people have enjoyed tonight? I have no idea how many likes there are. You would not have realized You would not have been able to, take part in what has taken place tonight. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. Show your generosity if you're able to donate and support. Even $1 is worth it. This is free content. I don't like reiterating on it, but times are very upside down for me. And this is unusual. So definitely, if you have had a wonderful time tonight, you found this informative, you're not going to get this anywhere else, my friends. Definitely subscribe, share, like, donate, whatever you can do to show your appreciation to True Reporting. This is a one-man show. Everything you see here tonight is a one-man show. I found tonight to be very, very compelling, and I enjoyed it. We will take the last call, my friends. Hello, you're with True Reporting.
How you doing, Thomas, my friend? This is Ralph Riley from Redding, California.
Hey, buddy, how are you? I appreciate that donation earlier. Thank you, my friend.
Oh, well, it's not much, but let's put up.
Oh, no, I know the situation, my friend. You're doing wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. We've been under the weather out here. We had one of them freak snow blizzards and took out the power. We haven't had power in 7 days. Sitting here watching your show with an oil lamp going. It's like, right on. This is awesome. I can't believe how clear your podcast is coming in. It's not hardly buffering at all. And
No, I
I
pay for this. Ralphie, I pay for this. This is not free. So I want everyone to know out there that, yeah, this is not free. This is actually, I have to pay to do this. It's about $75 a month. So.
Well, I think, with the clarity, it'll pay for itself tenfold.
This is what I want. I want the clarity.
With what you're doing, I believe you're going in the right direction. I'm sorry to hear things about your current situation, and I'll pray for that.
Hey, buddy, I appreciate that, man.
But I'm on the other coast, buddy. But I still got your back.
Hey, Ralph,
everything you do, you are awesome, and you spread the word, and that's the most important thing, brother.
Hey, Ralph, I want you to know, man, that I should have made you a monologue time ago. I regret not doing it.
You had asked me, and I had declined at that time.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I'm a monitor in April or June's podcast. Also, I'm really good at taking people behind the woodshed and giving them the come to Jesus talk. I'm not very good at typing because I got to speak into my phone. Growing up illiterate, I can't spell right.
You're all right, buddy.
It's just one of those things, but it's an honor. I'm truly honored, and thank you so much, brother. I love you.
Hey, Ralph, I love you too. I meant when I typed, I didn't know if you were going to be able to get through tonight. Tonight was a wonderful show, and True Reporting's back, man. No matter what people say is, if shadow banning's real, if I'm full of it, whatever. No, that's not the case. What is taking place here is something special. And the lady that called in earlier, all the callers tonight, all the donations tonight, it's not about money or anything like that. And this is honest to God, like it's just about friendship and being and just being
fellowship in the Lord, man.
It's about being one with God. One, we are all one and the same, and it's about if you can. I don't beg for donations. If you want to leave a like, you can leave a like. A donation is great because a lot of what you see tonight, my friend, this is an upgrade. Ralph, can we agree on that?
Oh, this is 1,000% better than what you had going.
I totally agree, man.
I made a comment earlier because I know you had to go pee. You might want to get a relief tube a cockpit from a plane, put it in your desk.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I mean, seriously, when I told you all the donations and everything, it went straight to this channel. I was not lying. I would not steer you in the wrong direction. Everything that you see here, which we have professional lighting, we have professional camera, a new computer, new everything came from everyone. And I couldn't do it without anybody, and still, to keep this alive, to even make it better, I'm still this is still a low production in my in my sense.
Hey, I remember when you first started, and you wanted to go live and be able to do this, and I was there with you when you first started, and you have made strides after strides, and it's amazing what you could do when you put on the armor of God.
Hey, Ralph, I totally agree with you, man. The armor of God, being positive, just pushing through everything, green screen, everything. Again, this is none of this is cheap. This software, everything you see here, it looks simple from the outside looking in, but from the inside looking out, this was a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of stress. I have not been able to do a podcast, a live stream in almost 3 weeks, man.
I was concerned about you because I hadn't heard from you. I sent you a couple of emails, worried about you. So,
Ralph, I did get those emails.
Came on.
Well, hey, we're back better than ever, and we just did a 2-hour and 15-minute stream. And Ralph, I appreciate your kindness and your loyalty and your generosity. And we're going to do this every night, Monday through Friday, even sometimes on the weekend from 8 to 9 Eastern Standard Time. Ralph, thank you for calling in, my friends. Everyone, thank you for the donations. We will talk to everyone extremely soon.
I'm down to a 2X now.
Hey, man, losing weight, man.
Buddy.
Losing weight, buddy. I appreciate, dude.
I'm down to 255 from 315.
Dude, you're killing it. I hope you stick with it. I know you will, because you know what?
I changed my whole diet up. I learned about ATK 293, and it really twerked my brain.
Hey, man, don't let the cabal feed you poison. Hey, Ralph, I appreciate you calling me.
If you don't make it from scratch, don't eat it.
Absolutely, buddy. I will talk to you soon, okay, man?
God bless you, brother.
God bless you, too.
Bye.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Tonight was extremely special. We are in a great awakening. We are in a magical, beautiful time, and we are all one and the same. We could say a prayer real quick. Dear Heavenly Father, please watch over our president, watch over the Q team, watch over our friends and families, not only mine, but those that are in the chat and that follow. Dear Lord, thank you for the donations. Thank you for the generosity and kindness. Dear Lord, please watch over the love of humanity and keep us in your thoughts, Lord. Amen. Everyone, thank you. I hope you had a wonderful night tonight. I had a wonderful night. I hope you did too. We will talk to you extremely soon. Thank you for tuning into True Reporting. Expect many more podcasts and much more to come. Have a wonderful, gorgeous night tonight, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a wonderful night, guys. God bless.
They say humans are social animals. They can't live alone. But you can live pretty well by yourself. I tell you, instead of feeling alone in a group, it's better to have real solitude all by yourself. Thank